Welcome back, friends. Last guy here, and it's time for more Great Ace Attorney, and we're investigating still, so boop. We're in the investigation phase. Okay, so let us examine everything. From right to left. Examine Guy. They're all getting the same voice, by the way. Excuse me, but could I ask you something? You little stowaway murderer. Wrong voice. That wasn't a good start, was it? Alright, let me try instead. Also, I thought that was like the lighting. I didn't know that was his tan. Good day, Mr. Sailor. I'm so sorry to trouble you, but could I perhaps ask something of you? You little third-class lady's maid. Ooh. Oh. We seem to have caught this sailor on a bad day, Sasato-san. I am not sailor. My mother gave me name. Stroganoff, son of a beef stroganoff, you son of a bitch. Okay, I am a senior crewman. Beef stroganoff. Oh, by the way, I totally forgot to do that medic voice for Hosonaga, so I just gotta find something else for that guy, because I forgot to just listen to that. Whew, best thing is just to avoid eye contact, I think. Like, of course, you would try to do heavy for this guy. I do not have that voice either. Mr. Stroganoff, about this first-class cabin area? Here we are in finest part of Bardia steamship, for very important persons. What sort of very important persons? Government officials, kings and queens traveling in secret, many important persons. That is why I'm always guarding this place. Gosh, that's amazing. But somehow I let stupid stowaway inside. I want to pick you up and throw you in ocean, but Stroganoff is not animal. Thank you. If I may, I was wondering, is the cabin next to Mr. Asogi's currently occupied? Duh. Sasato-san, did you understand that? It sounded like duh. I think it's probably Russian for yes. Or no. Genius. It is not permitted to visit other cabins without invitation. Huh? Well, it sounds like there is somebody in the next door cabin at least. Yes. It is tantalizing. Passenger to next door cabin. Did you tell us who's traveling next in the cabin next to Mr. Sogi's? His name is Mr. Grimsby Roylott. Okay. Grimsby Roylott. Grimes by lot? Grimsby Roylott? Someone's have to tell me what the joke is here. He is very important Western gentleman. A Western gentleman? Do not think about it. He has nothing to do with murder of student boy. How can you be so sure about that? Mr. Roylott is authentic Western gentleman. Such a man would have no interest in lowly student from insignificant Far East Islands. That was harsh. Could you tell us when Mr. Roylott came aboard? That is not your business. Come to think of it, even though we've been at sea for 2 weeks now, and I've been in Kazuma's cabin the entire time, I've never once heard anything from the next door cabin, or even felt like there's anyone there. Well, presumably, since the gentleman is occupying one of the first-class cabins, he must be rather important. Is that right? That is not your business. Okay. Last night. Are you on watch here all the time, Seaman Stroganoff? All the time. So criminals like you cannot come in. Or get out. I wonder, could you tell us anything about last night at all? It is sad about student boy. Were you on watch last night as well? Of course. And did you notice anything at the time? Anything unusual? Yet. Sasato-san, did you notice? Did you understand that? It was clearly a no. I saw nothing unusual, nothing at all. And you didn't hear any strange noises or sense anything was wrong in any way? I said no! Sorry. I'm not so sure. I could have sworn that he wouldn't catch my eye for a moment there. I could have sworn that he wouldn't catch my eye for a moment there. Oh, I see. Do I have Apollo's hold it? This is enough. I cannot say more. Oh. It is time for me to report to Captain. You must return to cabin. Yes, alright. Bulkhead to second-class area staying locked at all times. You escape when the lobster whistles on top of a mountain. Or as English say, when the pigs fly. Yes, I understand. Probably make a lobster whistle. Good. Now we can investigate this area properly, shall we? Definitely! Alright. Look around. So let's examine. Let me examine the door. Let's examine the door, just cause. That's the way to the second-class area of the ship. Is something wrong? I was thinking about making a run for it, just for a moment. Things aren't exactly going well for me. Again. I might be wrong, but I imagine the moment you reach for the handle of the door, that burly seaman would surely shoot you dead. Oh dear, I'm sorry. Perhaps I went a little too far there. No, I started it with my talk of running away. And there's no way I could run away while Cosmo's death remains a mystery anyway. Next, book. Protocols. The book on the table there really is huge. There's a pen with it, too. Yes, I'm sure that's the ship's log. Can we have a little look through it? Have a little look through it? The writing is so neat and precise. Every detail about the voyage has been meticulously recorded. You wouldn't expect a rough and ready sailor to have such beautiful handwriting. Anyway, look here. Last night's log is mostly blank. Presumably that means there was nothing to report. Presumably. Ship sections? This looks like a plan of the SS Buria. It shows each deck. Look! The Buria is a large-scale steamship with a triple-skinned hull. What a marvel of engineering. Well, it's been playing in my mind for a while now, actually, but how is it that such a huge lump of metal doesn't just sink to the bottom of the ocean? Oh, that's really quite simple, Naruhodo-san. It is? Well, consider the Japanese archipelago. The island of Japan? Yes, they're not metal, but they are enormous lumps of earth, many, many times larger than this ship. And they don't sink, do they? They've been floating happily on the sea since the gods created them. Okay, real quick, I assumed all islands are just... they go down to the earth, but then when you got islands, you know, in the deep ocean, they are floating, aren't they? So how does that work anyway? Well, I suppose so. Oh, we didn't get an answer? I was looking for an answer there. How do islands float? They're so huge. They're huge. Very large. I'm going to look this up. I gotta remember to look this up. This is our cabin, I believe. This is it. This is the cabin next to ours. Oh, the one with the ventilator connected to it. Yes, the ventilator from which Kazuma-sama wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging. Maybe whoever's in this cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask. Wasn't expecting to go right to it. Knock, knock. Da-da-da-da. No answer. We're out of luck, it seems. There's no one in there to help with our inquiries. How annoying! I gotta nail that voice down a little bit. I think it's going too far. What do you think this is? It's a very pleasing shape, isn't it? The bell. That's an emergency alarm. It's probably best not to touch it. Oh, an alarm. It says, press only in times of emergency. It looks as though it sets alarm bells ringing all over the ship and brings the vessel to a complete stop. Ooh. Oh, this I have to see. What are you doing, Naruhodo-san? You mustn't touch it. But this is an emergency situation. Just look at these cuffs. You know full well that's not what the alarm is for. We're to bring this vessel to a standstill for no good reason. It'd be an even worse situation. I wish everything would just stop. This ship included. If you had to do something foolish, at least make it something that doesn't affect anyone else. Ah! Okay, something happened. What was that? It came from inside the cabin. So that means that's important because it caused something to happen. Such a high-pitched scream. It must have been a woman. Stand aside. Oh, it's him. I'm about to break the door down. Mr. Sholmes? Yeah, I thought he was in there this whole time. I shan't be stopped when the fit is on me. I revel in kicking doors off their hinges. Please, wait, Mr. Sholmes. The door doesn't appear to be bolted. It doesn't? Then how the deuce can I dispatch this muscular urge? What prey can I kick? I think we should go in. There's no time to think about stress relief. So we didn't need to look at the mousetrap, huh? Alright. 9th January, SS Buria, first class cabin number 2. Oh! Dude with beard! Who are you? A Western gentleman? This man looks Russian to me. We heard a woman scream. A woman? Don't be upset. As you can see, there's nobody but me in this cabin. If I'm not careful, I'm just going to go into judge voice with this guy. Sure, this old man does appear to be the only person in here. But in that case, who just screamed? Get out, all of you! Now! Please excuse the intrusion, but you're Mr. Grimsby Rowlett, I believe? Yes, that's me, and you are... I am the one and only, the actual Herlock Sholmes. You've heard of me, no doubt? No. I am a great detective among great detectives. The one who adorns the covers of popular magazines, no less. So I assure you, you may trust me completely. The man uses that magazine like a business card. Wouldn't you? A detective? I do not trust detectives. You distinctly heard a scream emanating from within these walls. But there wouldn't appear to be a lady concealing herself within the wardrobe this time. Hey! So might I be as bold as ask you to open that small traveling case? What? Don't be stupid! How could anyone fit in a small trunk like that? Trying to find this voice. Well, it's quite fashionable these days, is it not? Traveling inside one's trunk. Don't look at me! Oh, okay, there's something in there. Oh my, did you see that, Mr. Naruhodo-san? Mr. Naruhodo is the sound. Yes, the case just shook. Leave, no. Otherwise, I'll call the steward. Well, this is Kazuma's neighbor, Mr. Grimsby Rowlett. There's no doubt about it. This strange Russian man is hiding something. I couldn't agree more. Let's see if we can find some clues before that burly sailor returns. How? How are we gonna look around when this guy's right here? I'm gonna try to... He's just sitting there! Just sitting there! How is he allowed to just sit there? How are you allowed to just sit there? Alright, that. What do you think you're doing? Huh? This is my cabin. Get out! Could we just have a quick look inside your traveling case, perhaps? No! Huh. What a pity. I think we're out of luck. I think you're right. There doesn't appear to be anything more we can do. I agree. There may be someone else who can help. Yeah, the guy. Perhaps that great detective could get somewhere with Mr. Rowlett. Rowlett? I got no. Boop! Do you have a moment, please, Mr. Sholmes? You need only address me as Sholmes. That's what I just did, isn't it? Well, Mr. Sholmes, what were you doing in there? Why, I was resting, of course. Resting? Indeed. I was contemplating our sea voyage from the confines of the wardrobe whilst waiting for the inevitable time that you would need to call my great powers of detection into service. Oh! And it would seem that the hour is upon us now. The time has come. Am I mistaken? Well, no, actually, you're spot on for once. I said we were working out. Observe closely. Our Russian host in this cabin, Mr. Rolot, is clearly trying to hide something. And do you know what the most effective weapon to use against a Russian hiding a secret? Why? The truth, of course. Though it should be pointed out that such methods are not exclusively for the Russians. Right. Can you imagine how the Russians will react when the secret he guards so closely is exposed? Would you like to witness it? Oh yes, please. Well then, what you are about to see may well astound you. I am about to apply my great detective's greatly admired deduction to the case. Okay. Could this man be a more hackneyed portrayal of a dubious Russian, I ask you? What? From time to time it occurs to me. Is the fellow dubious on account of his Russianness, or Russian on account of his dubiousness? Seems a little racist. I really don't think either of those things should be occurring to you, or anyone. That's right, and Mr. Sholmes. I know this man's beard and dark glasses are hard to ignore, especially on first meeting, but I once read, it is capital mistake to theorize before you have all the evidence. It biases the judgment. Phew! I must have complete silence. What are you doing? Why are you peering at my face like that? Ah, just as I thought. Yes, I have quite made up my mind now. Oh! There can be no other explanation that accommodates all the facts. Mr. Rolot, I have reached two incontrovertible conclusions. What do you mean? Number one, your true identity is that of a villain. Using those shears, you are about to end the existence of something most dear. Are you not? And number two, the other conclusion I have drawn. You are, at this very moment no less, in the midst of committing a most grievous crime. Beneath that beard, your mouth quivers with nervous tension as you realize you have been discovered. Does it not? Ugh. Oh, not a Hodo-san. I never imagined I would witness one of Mr. Sholmes' great deductions with my own eyes. That, was a great deduction? Nothing can deceive Mr. Sholmes. In a single glance, he can deduce all there is to know about a person. What? What an effable twaddle! Oh yes, I've read about it countless times in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes. And I've experienced the astonishing impact of his great deduction firsthand. This is like a dream come true. I can hardly believe it, but all the color is drained from Mr. Rolot's face. It looks like somehow both of Mr. Sholmes' conclusions were right? How can you... How could I possibly know such things, you wish to say? Very well then. I shall elucidate. I shall explain how it was that I arrived at this pair of conclusions. So I do cordially invite you upon a journey of logical discovery. Let us board the train of reasoning. Put plainly, let us work through my deductions together. Okay. The Great Deduction! The game is afoot. Okay. What? Topic 1, conclusion. Old man's identity. Oh my god, we're doing this. So the dubious-looking Russian, Mr. Rolot. Obviously, what catches the eye in the first place is the enormous pair of shears in your hand. Now we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You are on the verge of using the shears to cut away the copious beard you sport. Now moving on. The question then begged is this. Why would you desire to rid yourself of this magnificent beard, Mr. Roylott? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. Regard, if you will, this morning's newspaper, in particular the fascinating front page article. Which it would appear you have read also, Mr. Roylott. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article from the Revolutionary. In translation, the headline reads, Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. As you cannot fail to observe, the subject of the article possesses an extremely copious beard. Having noted the article yourself, you decided to remove your incriminating facial hair before it gave you away. In short, your true identity is beyond doubt. You are the fearsome Russian revolutionary himself, villain Bolshevik. Not that I've heard of you myself, you understand. Conclusion. A revolutionary on the run. Topic 2. Wrongdoing. Conclusion. Now, as for my second conclusion, you are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime over there. Oh yes, Mr. Roylott. Taken unawares, people have a propensity to let their eyes stray, you see. I assure you, the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. The answer we seek lies where the furtive glance falls. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, the traveling case. It is time, I think, that the case be opened and its contents laid bare. No, I refuse! What could you possibly be concealing inside, we ask? By my estimation. A young lady, perhaps. One slight enough to fit therein. That's amazing, but it's not. It's the snake. Don't be absurd. And what, pray, would you be the identity of this young lady in the traveling case? Oh, right, the lady, right. Well, we know who he's guessing, but in there? Dear me. We are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Your careless coup d'oeil betrays you. Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. The newspaper. Yes, the reason you refuse to open your traveling case can equally be found in the pages of this newspaper. But there is another, most stimulating article. If we turn around from the fleeing revolutionary to the back page. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. Such a headline can lead us to but one conclusion. Your crime is that of abduction. And according to the article, the young lady's name is Nikolina Pavlova. Conclusion. Kidnapping of a young ballerina. We have yet to see if this guy's right about anything. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this Russian enigma. Lemensky. Now, how much of that was correct? Sasato-san, that wasn't one of the great deductions I've been hearing so much about, was it? Well, the stories are full of Mr. Sholmes' brilliant deductions, you know. But that did seem a little different somehow. Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes, could you come over here a moment? Pray, what can I do for you? It's about your deduction. Would you mind? Not at all. Go on. Well, to start with, there's the newspaper article. I think we had the same discussion before, but... These two men look nothing like each other. Yeah, I was waiting for that. Ah yes, I recall our discussion earlier. And at the time, I believe I told you that the man is a revolutionary, well able to revolutionize his own appearance. To that degree? In fairness to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Rowlett does look more like this man than you do. That's not the point! And another thing, the part about him abducting the ballerina. Indeed, a truly startling revelation. At first glance, the case would appear too small to accommodate a young woman. Not just at first glance, it is too small, clearly! You'd be lucky to fit a 5-year-old child into that case, if you pushed really hard. I don't suppose the missing ballerina's a 5-year-old child, is she? You mean you don't know? No, the young lady is 15. No, I didn't know, but how could I? Well, if she's 15, then 10 years worth of her would be poking out from that case. Some years ago, I read something pertinent, I believe. A troop of men consuming vinegar daily in order to promote a certain litheness in their body. Vinegar? Vinegar? For such a sour bunch, it would surely be simplicity itself to contort oneself onto the confines of that small case. Contortionists are scary. Oh dear, you might be thinking of contortionists in the circus, Mr. Sholmes. Look, this whole thing is turning into a circus. Mr. Naruhodo, something occurred to me about Mr. Sholmes' deductions just now. I think his powers of observation are, well, magical. His eyes cut to the heart of a matter almost instantly. It's just where he directs his attention to his logic that seemed a little off. Your idea of a little, maybe a little off itself, Miss Susato-san. Mrs. Sato. It's just one or two key words in his deductions that seem to let him down. So I was wondering if we might perhaps tactfully switch them for alternatives. What do you think? That's what I was wondering with the orange. Switch some keywords in his deductions? Yes, but very tactfully. I feel sure if we could do that, we'd unlock the true genius of Mr. Sholmes' great deduction. Precisely the thought that was going through my own mind. This man is a lot of work. At times I wonder how anyone puts up with me. It's not that funny. And you, my good fellow. Sorry? Take a moment to look at your wrists. My wrists? What? What? Where are your handcuffs? Huh? How did... I felt they may hinder your ability to follow me in our dance of deduction. I don't believe it. Mr. Sholmes, you are a marvel. And don't worry, I shall restore the shackles to your wrists when we have finished. I'm not worried. In fact, I'd rather stay like this. So, let us begin. Sherlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Hey. Are we doing some more, huh? Okay. Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. Alright, it's our turn. Old man's identity, a revolutionary on the run. So we're gonna fix his mistakes. So the dubious looking... Oh, it's skipping. Okay. Okay, skip to the thing. Correction. Remember shears in his hands? Okay. Now we ask ourselves, what could possibly be... Yeah, why would he have scissors? Answer, of course, is staring us in the face. Cut away his copious beard. Okay, what other reason? I'm not sure. Would you really use shears like that to cut off a beard? I doubt that's something I'll ever have to worry about. It doesn't quite sit right with me, though. It doesn't seem to be sitting right with Mr. Rowlett either. Which means, I suppose, that the deduction is wrong. Let's try to switch a key word here, Naruhodo-san, and see if it helps it matters. Alright, but how? I think we should start by taking a long, hard look at Mr. Rowlett. I wonder if it's really his beard that he intended to use his shears on. Exactly. If we do manage to find something that seems to fit the sense of Mr. Sholmes' deduction better, then what? Then I'll leave the rest in your capable hands, Naruhodo-san. It's weird how they switch between San and Mr. Why am I the one to do something about this? Well, anyway, let's see if there's anything we could even use to switch around in that last sentence. What exactly is Mr. Rowlett really going to use those enormous shears for? And the greatest. What was the old man really about to cut? Up his beard, moustache, thick hat, coat buttons. Why coat buttons? So coat buttons. These are my choices, huh? Cut his beard, coat buttons, thick hat. Why would you cut your hat? Why would he cut his coat buttons? Coat buttons. Are you looking at the buttons on this coat? Could it be that Mr. Roulette was planning to cut these off? Oh, why? Well, when you're wearing thick gloves, it can be very hard to undo buttons. Then, couldn't you just take off your gloves first? Aha! So he was going to use the scissors to cut off his gloves then. I want you to take a deep breath and look at this from a fresh perspective, Naruto-san. Oops, I think she's angry. Alright, so it's the hat. Unless there's something else we can look at. Why the hat? It's a very thick hat, isn't it? Ah, that's the secret you see, Naruto-san, don't you? Don't you know? Secret? What? Well, before we left Japan, I took some time to study various foreign countries. Russia's a land of unimaginable cold. And a thick hat is the secret to keeping warm. Without one, I fear that your brain would freeze. That was one of many fascinating snippets of information in Oh Mother Not Russia. What the hell kind of title? I think maybe you picked the wrong book there. Oh, I can rotate this around! Okay, alright. Golden locks? What the balls? Oh, look at that. What the? What's this? Oh! It's the girl! It's the girl! I had a guess, but I was like, could it be the girl? Wouldn't they have identified from the voice she was trying to do earlier? But no, I guess not. It looks like a cascade of stunning golden locks. No. The color's not the point. The point is, what's it doing on the back of Mr. Roulette's head? And how is it growing out from underneath its thick black hair? Well, yes, that's true. So it's stunningly beautiful and stunningly surprising. So she ran away. Something's definitely not right here. Yeah, present the hair. She was gonna cut her hair. The golden locks you sport. Oh my god, he's doing it now! You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away the golden locks you sport. Indeed, you have identified the precise detail I was intending to expose. Such lush, golden hair certainly does not befit an old man. You're not a man at all, you're a woman, and judging from the length and sheen of your hair. One's still very much in her youth. Oh no! Great, now I can do a girl voice. Alright. And it's a younger girl voice, too. If only... Okay, we're doing Valley for this blonde chick just because I'm gonna be stereotypical here. If only I had managed to cut off my hair, no one would have suspected. Pulling it out, because why not? The question then begs is this. Why would you desire to rid yourself of those magnificent locks? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. Yeah, we're gonna move the newspaper around. The evidence that reveals her true identity is the article from the Revolutionary. About the Revolutionary. Well, that was a shock. I had no idea that old man was really a young woman in disguise, did you? What? Why are you staring at me like that? Yes, it was a surprise, Naruto-san. You're enjoying this, aren't you? Sorry? You look like you're in your element as you dance around the room deducing the facts with Mr. Sholmes. We're just doing what we agreed. I'm not having fun at all. This is strictly business, not strictly Yes, I understand. Say no more. Well, anyway, let's focus on this next part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction, shall we? The evidence that he's picked out doesn't fit the facts at all. No, that's true, given that Mr. Roulette is actually a woman. Exactly, he, or rather she, can't possibly be this merciless revolutionary. I suppose it's because the deduction as a whole has taken a different direction now. Yes. Let's switch the evidence for something else. Something that fits the facts as we now understand them. For some reason, this woman needed to try to hide her true identity. I feel as though I've either read or heard about a young woman in a situation like that recently. Alright, I'll do my best. But there. Present.
Yes!
Article about ballerina. The evidence that reveals her true identity is, of course, the article about the ballerina. That's right. You've hit the nail on the head. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. It would appear we are finally able to address you by your true name. Yes, because your true identity is that of the Novovich Ballet's prima ballerina. Miss Nikolina Pavlova. Ah! You got me? Oh, right in the head. Ooh, that's dangerous. Good thing she's got a small head, apparently. What is her name again, by the way? Court record, court record, court record. Do you like to check the court record? I want to see what their name was again. Hello. You're right. Okay, let's see here. Is it still here, people? Yeah, okay, it's still here for the time being. Grimsby Roulette. No, there's nothing in here. I can't guess why that was the name. Okay. You're right. My real name is Nina. I mean, Nikolina Pavlova. But please, I beg you, don't tell anyone. I am not going girl Russian voice because that is not going to work out. A ballerina on the run. Solved. Now for number 2. Obviously not kidnapping a young ballerina, because she's herself. So, now as for my second conclusion. You are at this very moment on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. The proof of this crime over there. She still looks okay. Oh yes, Miss Pavlova. Taken unawares, people have a propensity to let their eyes stray, you see. Ah. And I assure you, the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. The answer we seek lies where the furtive glance falls. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, the traveling case. It's not the traveling case. This woman is the ballerina, and she's right in front of our eyes. Oh god, is the snake not hers? So clearly she can't be inside that traveling case as well. No, that's right. It seems she wasn't abducted at all. In which case, what is the crime that this young woman is apparently committing? Huh, I can see I'm going to have to step in and fix the great detective's mistake again. You seem to look pleased, Naruhodo-san. Do you like the idea of another chance to dance around with Mr. Sholmes? Stop it! Anyway, there must be something else here that shows what this woman was up to. The booze! Oh, there's the tiara. It's behind the case. What's in the case, though? We didn't see it because of the chair. Wow, look at this dazzling tiara! I've never seen anything like it. Are those real diamonds, do you think? Well, Naruhodo-san, try it on. What? Me? Isn't that usually girls who wear tiaras? Unless you're Marth? Wouldn't you like to try it on? Oh no, I couldn't possibly. It's far too beautiful. Why does this tiara look familiar? I feel like I've seen it somewhere recently. Present!
Yes!
Tiara! The proof of your crime is surely this tiara. Ah! Ah? I believe this tiara is worn on stage by dancers in the Novovich Ballet, is it not? Indeed, it would appear to be identical to the tiara pictured here in this newspaper article. And if the reporting is to be believed, it's an item worth 20,000 rubles. In summary, the crime you have committed is theft. Oh no. Oh no. Yes, you left your ballet troupe, unlawfully taking their precious tiara with you. Uh-huh. Fix hat. Oh, she's clipping. I have no one, no family, no friends. I am all alone, and I need money. But I did not steal the tiara. It was a present from, how do you say, an Earl of Prussia? It belongs to me. Oh yeah, Prussia's still around at this point. This girl's only 15 years old, and she's a runaway all by herself? She must have been extremely lonely. Alright, I will tell you everything. There's no point in hiding it now. Whoop, not done. Come, let us not be hasty. What? There remains one unsolved mystery about you. Mystery? What do you mean? You have staunchly refused to open this traveling case of yours in our presence. It is reasonable to conclude, therefore, that there exists some reason why you wish it to remain closed. There's a snake in there! Is that not so, Miss Pavlova? My dear girl, there is no sense in playing games with me. Nothing escapes my attention. Indeed, I have a very good idea of the contents of your case, even before I've ever laid eyes on them. Dear me. We are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Your careless coup d'orle betrays you. Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written on the books in the shelf. What? He's completely changed tact with his deduction now. I think Mr. Sholmes is adapting his logic to the changing circumstances, don't you? Maybe, but why was he suddenly brought up the bookshelf into all this? It's just a wild guess, surely. Oh, do you think so? Well, it doesn't seem like that the reason why this young woman doesn't want to open her case would have been written in a book that doesn't even belong to her. Yes, that's true. But still, Miss Pavlova certainly did cast her eyes in that direction. I noticed it myself. And there has to be another reason why she won't open her case. And it must be somewhere in the same area. But that's where her gaze is involuntarily drawn. I agree, that's the only answer. Whatever she has hidden inside that case should be revealed by following her gaze in the direction of the bookcase. Small picture, rules of passage. Can we look down? Books on shelf. Rules of passage, cabin door. Small picture. Can we take a look at this? This is a charming little picture, isn't it? What is it? Someone climbing a steep mountainside? A descending one, it seems to me. When you've been on the flat sea for a while, maybe you start seeing hills and mountains and everything. Rules of passage? These are the rules of passage for travel aboard the SS Brilliant. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. There it is! There was exactly the same notice in our cabin, too. I wonder what happens if you break the rules. Oh dear, I'm sure the punishment would be severe, Noda-Hora-san. You'd probably be left adrift in the freezing cold ocean. Or shut inside a tiny wardrobe for days on end. So I've actually been serving time for weeks now, have I? I think it's this.
Yes!
She has a pet snake. But that means she's the killer if she has a pet snake. Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written in the rules of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Inside that case of yours is something forbidden from carriage on this vessel. That is the real reason why you refuse to open it, and thus revealing its contents. I swear if it's a bunny, I'll freak out. As we've seen, the truck wobbles from time to time. But no weapon or other dangerous item would move of its own accord. Which leaves but one possibility, Miss Pavlova. Inside your traveling case. Oh my god, stop spinning. This is the last item listed as forbidden in the vessel's rules of passage, a pet. Huh? Freaking hat fix. Possession of a prohibited animal. That's the wrongdoing. Alright, solved. Deduction complete. Elementary. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. So clearly you aren't who you said you were. No, no, I am not Grimsby Rolet. My real name is Nikolina Pavlova. Everything you said was correct. I lost my valley voice a little bit. You absconded during one of your ballet company's performances in order to escape your homeland. Later that same night, you stole aboard this vessel. Which couldn't have been easy. The Bray is a huge steamship with a vast crew. Did you really have snuck on aboard without being noticed? In order to obscure your true identity, you somewhat recklessly took the guise of an old gentleman. And you intended to sever our links with your past by severing your long hair. After 2 weeks. Yet to a woman, hair is no trifling matter. My personal recommendation is to leave well alone. So, if it was just you about to cut off your own hair, who was it that let out the scream we heard from outside the cabin? That veritable tinkling of a bell? Why, none other than this young lady, naturally. More like a full set of pipes, if you ask me. I was so scared when I ran away in Shanghai. I was sure they would come looking for me. That's why I decided to, how do you say, disguise myself? No one would recognize me? Disguise, okay. As a result, you transformed yourself into a questionable old man? I see. I put on the fur hat and fake beard. Then, just before you came in here, I saw in the newspaper. Right on the page, there was a picture of me. I was so frightened, I couldn't stop from screaming. I knew that if I didn't change my appearances completely, they would find me. But that was a huge scream, apparently, so it couldn't be just that. So I decided to cut off my hair as fast as possible. I picked up the scissors in my hand and... At that precise moment, we walked in through the unlocked cabin door. Things happen like that sometimes, don't they? Things do indeed happen like that, from time to time. Are those two even talking about the same thing? There's just one more thing I'd like to know. What the hell's in there? What exactly do you have inside your traveling case? Don't it? You're right, it is my dear friend inside, my only friend in the whole world. Please, don't tell anyone if the captain finds out, if you say it to any of the crew. Your secret is safe with us, I assure you. But in return, you must tell us, in as much detail as you can muster, about the events of last night. We're not going to see the snake. Yes, alright. I will tell you. Well, Mr. Naruhodo? Wasn't it something, Mr. Shum's great deduction? It was certainly something, yes. I'm just not entirely sure what. But at least Miss Pavlova has agreed to tell us what she knows. That's incredible. Indeed, it is incredible. Ah, and one more thing. Oh, yes? What? Observe your wrists. My... Son of a bitch! Ah, your hands are cuffed again. What? But how? True to my word, I have restored your shackles. Ugh. When? And why? Oh, he had to remove them so he could do all the moving around in that scene. Okay. There's still a shadow of guilt to cast over you, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm sorry to say. It can't be helped at the moment. Can't it, really? Anyway, let's listen to what Miss Pavlova has to say. I can't go on not knowing. I had to find out what the speckled band that Kazuma-sama wrote about in his diary really was. Okay, so we will talk to her next time. We'll save here. Alright, there's the game for now. Next time will be that conversation. So, I had fun. Hope you have fun watching. That's what's all about it. Having fun. Thanks for coming by. And see you next time. When we see, you know, if it's not a snake in there, I'm going to be thrown for a loop. Because that means where did the speckled band come from? It has to be. Alright, see ya.